Well, the One Piece chapter 704. I first heard some rumors that say that Oda was gonna take a break. Is that, or does it mean that he's gonna take a break now? Or has something awful just happened to him? Because, well, seeing how this chapter ran, I wouldn't be surprised if he took a break next week. But you know what to say? A genius like Oda always needs to take a break too much. Because we don't want him to end like that. Why am I saying all this? Because I read it earlier. But to tell you about the chapter, One Piece chapter 704. Let's just say this was interesting. Well, first of all, we introduced some real ugly people from different kingdoms. And actually, if I was smart, I would have remembered their names, but since I'm not smart, I'm afraid I do not remember their names. However, they are one of them. Luffy is about to get kicked out of the tournament because, well, he started a fight before the tournament started. However, a couple of guys, I think they were the Funk Brothers, stopped that and defended Luffy. He says thanks, however the guy did not want his thanks and began to attack him violently and even gives him the finger. I think he's the third person in the world to use that finger. The first one was Law, the second one was Sanji, and the third one is now him. Well, anyway, other than that, we also see one other thing. And to tell you, I'm not really that happy that we saw him. It's Bellamy. Yeah, he's not dead. Well, technically One Piece villains rarely dies, but you know what I mean. He's not dead. He's there. Bellamy the hyena, and now he's worth over 100 million berries. He's there and he has a scar on his chest. He's alive. That punk ass is alive. And he's even a family endorsement or whatever. Then it's safe to assume that he's grown more powerful. Well, duh, but still, just how powerful has he become now? Well, it appears he does not recognize Luffy, or actually, I don't think we even saw that Luffy saw him. Well, anyway, and then we also meet another pirate, a vain pirate called Cavendish, a very vain and... didn't I just say that? When I meant to say he's something like the beautiful pirates, which means it acts his vanity even more. And he is not a devil fruit user because he wants to eat this and become strong. And also, Luffy introduced himself as usual as Luffy, that idiot. I mean, I'm beginning to really drop my reception of Luffy. He's a good character and strong, but I'm beginning to get so angry with his stupidity. It's not so funny anymore. And of course all the gladiators don't buy him, saying his name is Lucy. They buy it. And then it reveals that Cavendish has a grudge against the rookies of the worst generation, because he's worth over 220 million, and he got into the New World and started making a name for himself. But when Luffy appeared in that, Whitebeard War and began to make the name for himself there, and all the other rookies, then they overlooked Cavendish, so he wants to kill all of the rookies of these, all the rookies, so he can take the tablet himself. I dropped the words again, didn't I? Well, let's just say his motion of hate unselfish. And then Luffy sees a tablet of quite an ingenious geezer called Kyros, and then a beautiful and very sexy dressed lady called Rebecca appears, and she reveals that this was one of the first gladiators, and he ruled for 20 years. Well, perhaps was not the first, but 20 years. He then they both introduced themselves, well, she says Lucy to Luffy, and And she reveals she has a grudge against Donflamingo because she wants to win the fruit so she can kill him. Wonder what kind of grudge that is. And then the chapter ended with one final twist. A guy from A or whatever knocked out an entire squadron of gladiators when he was fighting. He takes off his paper bag, and except being dressed in some very bad shorts, he reveals himself to be Jesus Bruges, that strong man, that champion guy from the Blackbeard Pirates. And he's also the captain of the 1st Division. This gets got a whole lot more interesting. Well, technically there are not so many big names, but we have seen Bellamy, we have seen a beautiful gladiator Rebecca who has a grudge, we have seen a vain pirate who, well, wants to kill the rookies, and now even Jesus Bruges. It's not so surprising, actually, well, it is surprising, for me at least, that he is there, but he wants the Mera fruit. Well, the Blackbeard pirates were the Blackbeard was the one who captured Ace, so it should not be surprising that he wants that fruit. But they also said captain of the 1st Division. That could mean that Blackbeard's crew has grown into an entire squadron exactly the same as Whitebeard. The son of a bitch. He really have grown into one powerful army. Well, right now this is all speculation from my point, but it should be actually pretty obvious by now, right? It's what kind of despair are awaiting us now? And since he's the 1st Captain Division, because I think he was, then that should mean that he is the 2nd strongest, or perhaps the most close to Blackbeard. Well, Luffy, I hope you can win this fruit, because a whole lot of guys are here messing with you, and once Bellamy sees you, I know he's gonna want revenge. Just knock off his ass, knock him loose. And Rebecca, I don't think you wanna fight Luffy. You should team up, because you both have a common enemy. And Kaidos, let's just see what you're made of.